Did you just get done with a heavy workout at the gym and you're feeling a little tight in that shoulder? Maybe you spent the day weed whacking your yard and now you have some soreness in your shoulders or your neck. Or you may be working at the desk all day long and now you have some pain in the back of your shoulders and the back of your neck. In this episode, we're going to talk about 5 stretches that you can try at home or at the office to decrease your shoulder stiffness. Hey friends, it's Dr. Lindz, and in this episode, I'm going to show you 5 stretches you can do at home in order to decrease your shoulder stiffness or pain that is caused by tight muscles. Of course, you should also back this up with strengthening and possibly some neuromuscular re-education for the rotator cuff and the postural muscles in order to make sure that your shoulder is supported and stable. Please note that this information is purely educational and not medical advice. There are many causes to shoulder pain, so use this as a guide. If your shoulder pain persists, I advise you to see your medical professional. Welcome to Better Mobility, Better Life, where you can learn how to break mental and physical barriers to become a better athlete, a more functional human, and how to age with grace using physical therapy techniques. So your shoulder feels tight and stiff. Let me show you how we can loosen it up. With all my stretches, I typically hold for about 15 to 30 seconds depending on the stretch, and I usually perform 3 sets. I just want to clarify that these stretches are good for overuse type of injuries. If you have anything more significant, like you fell on your shoulder and you're getting really bad sharp pain, something that's more traumatic, then please get examined first. So here are the 5 exercises if you feel that you've just worked too hard and you just need to stretch out that shoulder. All right, so the first one that we're going to talk about is to help with some shoulder flexion, and that is to get yourself into a child's pose. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna come up onto either your bed or you can use a yoga mat, and you're going to get on all 4s, and then you're gonna sink your hips back and just try to walk your shoulders out. So be careful that you're not putting too much weight down through your shoulders. You should feel a nice stretch through here. If that's too much pressure on your shoulder, one way to modify this is if you sit in a chair and you have your kitchen table, so you're gonna bring your arm straight out with your thumb up and you're going to slide it forward, hold for about 5 to 10 seconds, and then come back. You should feel a stretch right through the underside of that shoulder. If this causes pain, I would not go here, just hold off until you see your medical professional, or you can try a different stretch. All right, so the next stretch I would have you do is for your internal rotators. It's called a sleeper stretch, and that one requires you to lie on your side with your stiff shoulder on the bottom. You're going to bring your elbow at about 45 degrees here, or not so high above 90 degrees, halfway through there. You're gonna take your opposite hand and you're gonna push your wrist down towards the mat to your tolerance. This might be a little bit painful, and if it does, you may have a little bit of impingement, so be careful. If this is just a little bit of an uncomfortable stretch in the back of the shoulder, then you know that you're doing it correctly. Do this 3 times, hold for about 10 seconds at a time, and then come back up. And that will get the stretch in the back of the shoulder. The next stretch I'm gonna have you do is for the back part of your shoulder. It's a horizontal abduction stretch. All you're gonna do is bring that hand across your chest just like this. You should feel a nice pull through the back part of that shoulder. You may feel it in your back as well. Hold this for about 10 to 15 seconds. Do 3 on each side. This will get the posterior and inferior joint capsule, so it's a good stretch. For our next stretch, we're going to do a pec stretch on the wall. So we got out of the office a little bit. We're on the beautiful beaches of St. Croix in the US Virgin Islands. And I have here a pole, but if you have a wall or a door frame at home, that works. And what you're gonna do is you're going to place your arm up on that wall, make sure your elbow's at 90 degrees, and you're going to just step forward with the same foot as the arm that you are stretching. You're gonna hold it here for 30 seconds, and then you're gonna step back. So it's really important that when you're stretching, you're putting your weight through that foot and keeping your abs engaged. That way you're not creating any more twisting in the low back and you're not really putting a lot of stress through that shoulder joint. If you want a little extra stretch, what you can do is you can hold the bony part of your shoulder here and just rotate away from that wall, and you should feel more of a stretch in that pectoral tissue. The last stretch I'm gonna have you do, you can either be standing or seated, and that's for your upper traps. So these muscles get really, really tight, especially if you tend to type all day long and you have your shoulders up at your ears, or if you've been doing yard work and doing a lot of shrugging. So for this stretch, I'm gonna have you actually put your hands behind your back. If you can't do that, you can put one hand behind your back and relax the other. This will help to keep that shoulder in a downward position and that shoulder blade plastered to the back. And what you're gonna do is you're just gonna go into the opposite direction, and you should feel a nice stretch through that upper trap muscle right here. If you need a little overpressure, you can bring your hand just nice and lightly, don't crank on that neck, and hold for 10 seconds and then relax. Again, do both sides with this stretch. And if you feel that you're getting a little pinch sensation, then I would hold off on this stretch because you probably have a little bit of an impingement going on in that spine. So there they are, the 5 stretches to increase mobility and hopefully decrease the stress that you've been feeling in your shoulder. Again, these are great if you have been doing a lot of yard work, a lot of repetitive movements where you're actually bringing those shoulders up towards your ears. But if you do have any sharp pain, please do not push into that pain further, because there might be something more significant happening. Go see your physical therapist. If you've enjoyed this episode and want to learn more about the types of shoulder pain, please click the link below and subscribe to the channel. Until next time.